So in Ireland, this festival is usually known as Lughnasadh, the festival of the god Lugh, who is the god of kind of light and celebration. In England, it tended to be known as Lammas, which means in Anglo-Saxon it is a word for bread and grain. So it's really kind of a festival of harvest, of light, of sunshine, of feasting. So it's a real kind of joyous occasion. And although we don't really have any of that golden harvest light at the moment, we can still channel that energy in our practice today. And really that was kind of a theme in the Yoga for Witches book that I really enjoyed, that idea of kind of connecting our solar plexus chakra, which is kind of just above the belly button, that idea of our kind of inner sunshine that we can connect to anytime. So very appropriate for a Lammas Eve or a Lughnasadh Eve where there is no sunshine. We can connect to this one inside instead. And as always, our yoga practice will be very gentle, very easeful, a chance just to kind of take a little pause. It's always nice during these little festival times just to take a pause, take a little time to reflect and just enjoy a little time in the season. I think we tend to kind of rush through things. We live busy and dynamic lives. So as much as anything, this is a chance just to take a little pause and celebrate this time. So it's gone past 10, so we shall start our practice. So all we're going to do to start is we're going to lay down upon the ground. So take your time. If you want to have cushions or anything supporting you, feel free to bring cushions in. If you are happy to be flat on the ground, feel free to be flat on the ground. If you prefer to have your knees bent, feel free to soften the knees and hips so that you can kind of just ease the back into the earth, perhaps. So any way of lying down that you like best, feel free to find that place. You guys will be laying down. I'll be seated for a little bit just so that I can let any latecomers in. And also can speak to you a little easier. Beautiful. So we're just going to settle upon the earth. We'll start and end our practice laying down on the ground. A nice little circular practice, like the wheel of the year itself, like the circle of the harvest. We start in the earth, we rise, and then we come back to the earth. If you've just joined us, we're just laying down upon the earth so you can find a restful place upon the ground. It might be that we close the eyes or we let the gaze be soft. We're just going to take a little time to arrive here in our practice. And for you, arriving in your practice might be a chance to connect to the breath and the easeful rise and fall. Might be a chance to allow the body to relax into the earth. As always, we can celebrate this restful time just by gathering up any to-do lists, any schedules we might have for the weekend or work week ahead, and just pop them at the side of the room. We can be restful in that knowing that for the next hour and a bit, there is nothing we have to do. There's nowhere we have to push ourselves. This is simply a time for sacred pause and maybe just a little time to enjoy moving with the body. And just while we settle and relax in this place, I'm just going to read you a tiny bit from the Yoga for Witches book about this special time. Lughnasadh, one of the 4 ancient Gaelic festivals, along with Samhain, Imbolc and Beltane. It is named for the Irish sun god Lugh, whereas the English and Anglo-Saxon word for this festival is Lammas, meaning loaf or bread. This is a time to celebrate the beginning of the harvest season. a time for gathering in and giving thanks for abundance. And that word gather, to gather in, to draw in, is a beautiful one for our yoga practice. Maybe one of my favorite themes. As we gather in, we can feel gratitude for the wonder, for the abundance that is our body, our breath, our hearts and minds. Hello, Susanna, it's lovely to see you. We're just starting laying down upon the ground, so feel free to make your way to the earth whenever you feel ready. I'm just reading us a little bit about Lammas and Lughnasadh, this time to harvest, to gather in with gratitude and celebrate abundance in some of its simplest but maybe most powerful forms, our body, our breath. Maybe we enjoy the abundance of beautiful breath within our lungs. Maybe we feel grateful for the abundance of strength within our bodies. However, the last year and a half has affected us, we have made it here to this point. So there has been strength and resilience within us to help us be here. And as we gather in our attention, our awareness, our gratitude, our love for our bodies, we'll hold those elements within us to help us move with love and compassion today and hopefully all days. Safe in the knowledge that the time we spend with our yoga practice today will help benefit body and mind, and maybe gently stoke that inner fire, the solar plexus. So from our restful place on the earth, like a little seed in the earth, the field that will become the harvest field in time, what we'll do from our place upon the earth is just reach the arms overhead. We're just going to have a long stretch through the body. So you might want to wiggle fingers and toes or circle the feet, whatever feels nice, just to have a lovely long stretch as we begin to bring a little space, a little movement to the body. That little seed in the earth beginning to expand. When you feel ready, we'll just draw the hands back towards us. So it might be that they'll rest on the body or they'll be on the earth, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then from here, we're just going to bend the knees and pop the soles of the feet on the floor. Some of you might already be in this position, that's fine. We're just taking a moment to soften hips, soften knees, and just take a breath or two. And then from here, what we'll do, we're just going to roll into our comfortable side. So we're just coming into our little yogi recovery pose for a breath or two. Just like the regular recovery pose, it's just a chance to just move slowly. And then from here, we're just going to gently rise. We're going to come to an easy seat. Take your time. If you want to sit on cushions or blocks or blankets, feel free to bring in those props at any point so that you can find the place that feels most comfortable for you. So the sit bones are settled into the earth. From here, we are gently rising through our spine. From that seed in the earth, we now grow to like a little shoot in springtime. We're just going to breathe here for a peaceful minute. So if you want to close the eyes, feel free to do so. If you want to rest the hands in the lap or on the knees, feel free to do that. So whatever feels most comfortable for you. That idea of the connection between the earth beneath us and the sky above us as we gently rise through our center. Idea of gentle growth as we've moved from our place laying on the earth to now seated. The journey through the year, that lovely circle, that spiral. A gentle energy of the growth of plants and animals that we can connect to if we wish. We might feel inspired by the change in the seasons. We might just enjoy watching the change around us. There is no right or wrong way to connect to the seasons, to the week of the year. It's always nice to maybe find our own way to connect. So beautiful ones. If the eyes are closed, let's gently open them here. Lovely. Let's just take a few shoulder rolls. It's such a simple one, but I always enjoy it. I love that idea of kind of rolling away any weight that's settled upon the shoulders. So whether it's stresses or worries or tasks we have to do later, or maybe there's tension within the muscles of the shoulders if we've been to the gym this week. So just a little chance to roll away anything we wish to roll away. Beautiful. Maybe just one more. We'll let the shoulders hang heavy. And then we'll just take a little movement with the neck as well. So we'll just drop the chin to the chest, and we're just going to do little half moon rolls. So the chin's going to roll from one shoulder along the collarbone to the other. So take this as gently as you like. If you have any tensions or knots in the neck, do just take it really gentle. We're just starting to ease our way into the muscles, into the body. But we're not in any rush. Just like the change of the seasons, everything happens in its own time. No hurry, no rush. So when you feel ready, we'll just bring the head back to upright, and we're just going to do exactly the same at the back of the body. So we let the head fall back, we're gazing skywards. And again, just little half moon rolls as if you're rolling the back of your head along the top of the shoulders. Slow as you like, gentle as you like. And once again, when you're ready, we'll just bring the head back to upright. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to sweep the arms skywards, reaching to the sky. The sun, if we're lucky enough to have the sun out this morning. And then what we'll do from here, I'll mirror you. We're going to drop the left hand, and we're just going to take a side stretch. So the sit bones are still rooted in the earth. We're just taking a little reach. The gaze can go wherever you like, so you can shine it skywards or let it fall to the earth. From here, we're going to rise up tall, so we're reaching high once more, and then we're just going to take it over to the other side. Once again, we're going to rise up tall. We're going to breathe in the breath. So as we inhale, we're reaching high like that. Plant that golden stem. And then as we exhale, we're going to take it to the side. And then we inhale, we rise up. And exhale. To the other side. Beautiful. And we're just going to use the breath. So you can sway in your own time. Ear of corn, that was the word I was trying to think of. We're swaying like a little golden ear of corn. I forgot the name for it. But you can imagine you're any plant, any tree, any flower, any grain that you wish to be. Just gently swaying in a warm August breeze. We're just about to tip over from July into August. A lovely season of abundance. The harvest, the fruits, the ripening. Really beautiful. Just the next time we reach skywards, let's pause for a moment so we all meet in this beautiful reaching skywards. And then when you're ready, we'll just bring the palms together and gently bring the hands to the heart. Lovely. From here, what we'll do, we'll release the hands. We're going to take the legs wide. As always, with wide legs, take your time. It's just what's wide for you. They can really be as wide or as narrow as comfortable. If you find this particularly challenging on the hips, please bring a deep bend into the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the floor. It just makes everything just a little bit softer through the joints. So from our chosen forward fold, we're actually going to start with a twist. I'm going to mirror you. So with a nice tall spine, we're going to take our right hand and bring it up just on the outside of the left thigh. And then the other hand's just going to go on the earth behind you, and we're just going to use the hands, the arms to gently spiral the heart and the shoulders and the gaze around for that lovely twist. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're just going to take it over to the other side. So we're just going to gently spiral round, use the hands, the arms to help guide that twist. And then as we unravel back to center, again, keeping hold of that nice tall spine, we're going to come into a fold. So we'll hinge at the hips, we'll bring the hands to the earth, and then we'll just take our time. So if you're just doing a little tilt forwards, that's fine. We can let the head hang. If you're happy to walk or slide the hands further, hinge into a fold, we'll let the head hang. So again, take your time. If this feels very strong, then bring the legs closer together or bring that lovely soft knee in and you can just hinge forward. So this can be as gentle as you like. Wide legs can often feel quite challenging, especially if some of us have been working to getting back to the gym and kind of moving around a bit more. Now we're back out into the world. So if you're feeling tension here, just ease off a little bit. You can lift up a little, you can bring the legs close together, you can be soft in the knees. There's never any need to stay anywhere that's not comfortable. And hopefully we can find our place to take some easeful breaths. From here, we'll gently rise through head and heart. So you can slide the hands to bring you back to upright, lovely. And then what we're going to do, we're going to scoop the knees in. We're going to journey to all fours for a moment. So take your time. You can bring those cushions in underneath the knees if you want a bit of extra padding, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then from all fours, we're going to move into the puppy dog or the heart melting pose. So leaving the hips directly above the knees, we're just going to slide the hands forward. And you can have the arms straight or you can be soft in the elbows if you like. You can rest the forehead or heart and chin upon the earth. So depending on what feels comfortable on your shoulders, take your time. Find what feels comfortable for you. Going to take some easeful breaths. So we're gently opening our heart towards the earth, as well as that solar plexus chakra, right in the sunshine, just above the belly button. Shining the heart and inner sun towards the earth. What do you think of these spaces in terms of the chakras, those little points of energy, or even just the idea of stretching through the muscles of the chest, the ribs to help us breathe a little deeper. So however we like to envisage these spaces within our body, there's still that beautiful idea of growth and space, of energy. So from here, we're just going to gently soften through the shoulders so you can slide the hands underneath the shoulders and return to the tabletop position. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into the puppy dog twists. So we'll start with the left hand. What we'll do is we'll shine the palm of the left hand upwards. We're going to thread the hand underneath the right armpit and lay the shoulder and the side of the head upon the earth. From here, the right hand can stay where it is just to help support you. Or if you wish, you can reach it to the top of the mat so you're looking underneath the armpit. Or you can wrap it around the body towards the left hip, like a little spiral thread wrapping around your back. Feel free to play with all three, see which one you like best. And when you've found your place, we're just going to take some easy breaths here. If you find that the angle just feels a little too much on the neck, you can always drop the bum, the hips down towards the heels. Soften this pose. Or you can come back to the puppy dog if you prefer. There's a few options here if you're not sure about this one. From here, we're going to slide the right hand back underneath the shoulders, just so we can gently unravel through the body. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to shine that left hand skywards, just for a moment, just reaching high. And then the hand's going to come back to the earth, so we're coming back to all fours. Beautiful. So exactly the same on the other side. So right hand, or whatever side's the opposite for you now, we're going to thread it underneath left armpit. We're going to lay shoulder and side of the head upon the earth. Again, that option to rest, reach, or wrap the left hand. Again, taking your time. There is no rush. You can play around with what's going to work best for us. Finding that place to breathe. Here within the puppy dog twist, we're twisting through the upper part of the spine, the thoracic spine. So that's the top bit where our kind of ribs are. The top section of the spine, and we're just finding a little twist there. We'll take a few more breaths wherever we are. And then once again, we'll bring the hand under the shoulders so we can gently push into the earth. And we're going to float the hand skyward once more, just to reach to the sky for a moment. And then from here, we're going to bring the hand back down to the earth. Beautiful. So we're back in the all fours position here. So we're going to move through our half moon balance here. We're going to move through a few stages. So just take it slow, see what works for you. You don't have to push yourself into anything that feels a little too much with our balances today. So we'll start nice and simple. What we'll do from all fours is we're just going to send the right leg back. We're just going to tuck the toes under. So we've just created a little kickstand with the leg. From here, we're going to take our right hand, so it's the same side as the leg. We're going to float the hands skywards. So we're trying to almost reach the earth and the sky at the same time with the arms. Lovely. So this is our first little kind of step on the ladder. If you want to stay here, if this feels enough, then stay here. If you want to challenge the balance a little more, we can think about floating the right leg as if we're trying to extend along through the leg to kind of shine our soul. The back wall, not the back wall, back past the foot. I don't know what you'd call that. Side wall. Let's go with side wall. Slow and steady breaths. As always, the gaze can go wherever you like. So if it feels easier on the neck, just let the head kind of fall and let the gaze go earth. You can do that. If you prefer to let the gaze shine skyward, you can do that. If you feel that you could take it a little further, we can move, if you wish, into the sugar cane. So what we can do is soften through the knee to bring the heel towards the bum. We can take the hand at the front of the foot and gently kick into the hand. We're creating almost like a basketball hoop. So we're not trying to float the foot skywards, we're trying to push it behind us so our heart and our hips are still shining forwards. Basketball hoop is not as romantic sounding as sugar cane, so we call it the sugar cane. Another lovely crop we might be harvesting at this time. Beautiful. Let's take a final lovely deep breath wherever we are. Beautiful. Let's gently unravel. We're going to bring the hand and the knee back down to the earth. Well done, everybody. From here, what we'll do, we'll take it to the other side. I'm gonna spin so I can still see you. You guys can stay where you are. We're gonna send left leg back, tuck toes under. We're gonna float the left hand to the sky and reaching, expanding through the arms. Option one, if we wish, extend through the leg. And then if we want to come to the sugar cane, we bend the knee, heel comes towards the bum. We take hold of the front of the foot. And we gently push in so we can open through the hips, through the heart. So whether you want to be in sugar cane, half moon, or supported, find your place. We'll take a breath or two. Beautiful work, everybody. Slow and steady, we'll gently release the knee and the hand back to the earth. So we're back to the tabletop for a moment. From here, we're going to come into a lovely child's pose. If you want to come into wide knees with me, we'll bring big toes together, knees wide, sink the bum back onto the heels, reach hands forwards, head to earth. If you have another child's pose that you like, feel free to come into any child's pose you wish. Whatever feels most supported and most restful for you. Beautiful. So it might be that the forehead is restful on the earth. We might enjoy a little chance just to connect once more to the breath. Imagining ourselves as plants or crops, that balance, that sugar cane was the kind of the peak of our reaching out, and now we're coming back to ground, and everything after this point will be restful, calm. Really lovely. Just take a few more breaths wherever we are. A lovely, restful sanctuary of child's pose. So from the child's pose, we'll just gently bring our hands under our shoulders so we can lift through head and heart. From here, we're going to bring bum to earth. We're going to sweep the legs around. We're going to return to the ground with soft hips and soft knees. So take your time, soles of the feet on the ground, arms can settle wherever you like. Spine, shoulders, hips, restful on the ground, and we'll just take some easeful breaths here. From here, we're going to take our little supine twist. So we're just going to let the knees fall over to the right and the gaze to the left. Take your time if you want to bring in supportive cushions, either underneath or in between the knees. Feel ready, we'll journey to the other side. So we'll take the knees over to the left, the gaze to the right, whatever's the opposite side of you now. So from here, we're going to bring the knees and the gaze back up to the sky. So we're back with the soft hips and soft knees. Now from here, we're going to come into a very gentle, supported bridge pose. So I mentioned earlier having the cushions nearby. So we'll just gather our cushions or our bolsters. And from this place upon the earth, all we're going to do is just gently lift the hips and bring a cushion or two underneath the low back, the hips, the bum, just so the hips are ever so gently lifted. And you can play around with this. You might want to keep this quite low. You might be happy to lift the hips a little higher. And the arms, again, can just rest out to the side. So this is gently opening through the front body, but we've got that supportive cushion, so it shouldn't feel like too much hard work, or that we need to hold it in any way. So take your time. Take as long as you need to get comfortable to bring in that support. We can really just settle and breathe here, unhurried. Having our hips gently lifted by our cushions or bolsters means that it's a little easier to move into our next pose, the waterfall. So what we can do here is just gently draw the knees in towards us, and with the kind of tilt of the hips, you can kind of just let gravity draw the knees in. And then if you want to, we can float the soles of the feet skywards. And you might have a little softness in the knees, the legs might be straight, you might have a little wiggle with the feet and toes if you like. The feet and legs are elevated, but this position can be anything you want it to be. So it might be that you're super soft in the knees, might be extended through the legs, whatever feels comfortable for you. We'll just take a few more lovely breaths, wherever we are, or wherever we want to be, if you want to take a pause or a rest. And from here, we'll just gently soften the knees. We're going to lower the soles of the feet to the earth once more, just being really gentle. And then from here, we can just gently get rid of those cushions underneath the hips. So you're just going to lift the hips a little and slide the cushions away. And we find ourselves once more upon the earth. Just letting that spine settle into the ground once more. And we'll just take a few easeful breaths in this place. So my darling ones, from this place upon the earth, restful place, if you are happy, you can just stay exactly where you are. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take a 2-minute pause as we transition from our yoga asana, our movement practice, into our time for meditation. And we're going to be in meditation for about 15-20 minutes. So it might be that you want to pop to the loo, or you might want to get yourself a drink. You might want to put jumpers and socks on. So what we'll do is we'll just take a couple of minutes just to give ourselves a chance to gather anything we might need. As I mentioned in the poster for our Lammas workshop, if you want to, gather yourself just a little something of food stuff. So I've got a little bowl of grapes here. So a grape, a little piece of chocolate, a truffle, just if you want to. You don't have to do this. This is just a little tiny ritual we'll do at the end of our Shavasana. So I'm just gonna pop on mute just for 2 minutes while we take a pause. I'm just gonna get myself a drink. So take your time. Give yourself a moment. Our meditation journey can be done wherever you want to be. So you can be laying down, you can be seated, you can start seated and then lay down. I have one lovely student who, whenever it's time to Shavasana, she practices in her bedroom. So she just kind of climbs into bed and gets all her cushions and just goes to sleep on the bed during meditation. So really any place that you would like to be, feel free to take your time. I'll just give it one more minute, just in case anyone's not back, and just in case anyone's got a cup of tea that they want to just savor for a minute. There's like a little key word in the book I put for every festival, and for Lughnasadh, the word was gather, which is one of my favorite words. And you can gather with your inner yogi by gathering in a feeling of gratitude and abundance and a wonder that is all our body can help us journey through. And then it says, gather with the inner witch, gather herbs and flowers and woods and seeds. Enjoy the late summer sun. That's nice too. And our theme for our guided meditation will be this idea of gathering in. And I didn't realize at the time when I suggested, long ago when I set these workshops up to have a little food stuff at the end of our practice, is very, very appropriate for the next book I've written about the kitchen witch and about the magic of food. So I might just read a little secret squirrel excerpt from Kitchen Witch as well, just while we're in our meditation, that little journey of the harvest. This is why I write books, so that I've got something to read when we're in meditation. I write it once and then I can just read it off. So my darling ones, for our Lammas and Lughnasadh ritual and celebration today, let's take our time to find the place we wish to be for our meditation. So seated or laying down, cushions, blankets, whatever you want. Let's find our place upon the earth and maybe close the eyes. Once more, allowing our body to settle into its place, as if finding our roots in the ground beneath us. and allowing our awareness to draw inwards. As we move through our days and the seasons, our energy, our attention, our awareness shines out in 100 different directions. This amazing web of connections with the world, which is a beautiful thing. The world is blessed to have us sharing these golden threads. But for this time, we're reeling those threads back in. So we're calling that energy, that attention, that awareness home, so that we can shine a little of that light of love and compassion purely on ourselves. And as we gather in awareness to the body, we might just take a little simple scan of the body. So noticing perhaps the toes and the feet and the ankles, and we just send them a little love and let them relax. Letting go of any tension or tightness that might be dwelling there. And then the legs and the knees and the kneecaps soften, relax. And the hips and the tummy, soft and calm. That little light of the solar plexus above the belly button, just shining with a little calming light. We might relax the muscles of the chest, the muscles of the ribs and the shoulders. They soften into the earth or soften into their place. And then from the shoulders, that little wave of love and calm shines down through the arms and all the way to the tips of the fingers. Restful, relaxed. Finally, that little intention of calming and soothing might shine up through the neck and the jaw, the muscles of the face, all the way to the very top of our heads. Just allowing ourselves to relax, allowing ourselves to be in stillness, allowing ourselves to settle into a space where there is nothing we have to do, there's nobody we have to be. This is our time to just find our own little place of sanctuary and calm. From our place of restfulness, it is inevitable that new thoughts, new ideas, new distractions might pop into the mind. We can just notice and then let them go. There is nothing that we have to hold on to too tightly within our journey. And that includes the sound of my voice. So as I talk us through a little story, you don't have to listen. You don't have to attend to anything I'm saying. You just let the words swirl around somewhere in a distant haze of light. Here at this special time of threshold into the festival of Lammas and Lughnasadh. These are ancient festivals of light and of harvest, of food, of feasting, of coming together. A time to give thanks for the abundance offered up by Mother Earth. And to entreat the earth spirits to watch over all the still ripening crops that remain. Just perhaps we might envisage in our mind's eye walking peacefully in the evening sunlight of one of those beautiful long summer days. The evening sun shines golden. We find ourselves walking through a beautiful little village. The houses and the stones of the wall shine golden in the light. We walk past little walled gardens and allotments that hold ripening tomatoes, beans and peas. Past the gardens, you might be able to see a few kitchen witches in their kitchens with their shining mason jars ready to hold the juicy, bright fruits of the season, stirring their cauldrons and singing their spells. The village joyful this harvest season. You walk through this quiet evening. And through the little sunlit paths, we arrive at the fields. The fields shine golden in the evening light. The golden grain shining in the light. There is that beautiful scent in the air of hay and corn warmed from long summer days. In the near distance, you might hear the farmers as they sing and whistle as they gather the crops in. In Cornwall, the farmers whistle to the wind spirits to help them separate the grains from the chaff. And always they're grateful for the grain that will become the first loaves of bread, the first feasting foods. But here we simply enjoy these fields of gold. We might take a walk through the field. We might feel the grains of wheat between our fingers. We might take lovely deep breaths and smell that beautiful scent of summer, the hot, warm earth and the golden crops. We might hear the songbirds singing as they fly on warm breezes and pick a few grains of their own. You might feel the warmth of the sun upon the skin, warm and comforting. Enjoying this time to utilize every sense, sights, the smells, what we can hear and feel within a beautiful field of gold. Here within these fields, amongst the harvest, we are reminded perhaps of this simple idea that we will reap what we sow. What seeds of intention have we planted or wish to plant? What foundations might we lay for new plan and new seasons? And what harvests, what abundance are we grateful for? Perhaps it is food, perhaps it is people, perhaps it is new ideas or inspiration or adventures. And as we enjoy our own sense of harvesting within the golden field, we might gather up ears of corn as bounty. We might gather up the fruits of our labours. We might hold close the song of the birds or the warmth of the sun. gathering in to gently stoke our own inner fire, our own inner light. Celebrate. Celebrate each new day, month, season, and cycle. Find the rhythms in the year that help you find your connections. Create your own rituals to celebrate and honor these moments. They do not need to be complicated or even planned. Take time to enjoy little moments of wonder as they arise. Your days do not always have to be perfect, but let them mean something to you. Something learned, something released, something honored. Ceremony and ritual can be a time to carry yourself and your soul in a sacred way. But it is not the only time to do that. Rituals remind us that we are sacred and teach us how to carry ourselves in a sacred way every single day. And so, my beautiful ones, perhaps the next inhale is just a little longer, a little deeper than the last. You might wish to wiggle fingers and toes or make any luxurious twist, stretch or wiggle that feels nice for you as we just begin to bring our awareness back to the room and back to the day. With eyes closed for a little longer if you can. If you are laying, we'll gently bend the knees and pop the soles of the feet on the floor, and you can roll to your comfortable side in that little yogi recovery pose. You're already seated, you can just take a moment to breathe. And again, with eyes still closed, we'll gently rise to an easy seat so that we are all seated. It doesn't matter what way you're facing, you can bring the blankets with you if you like. A little moment to carry maybe those ideas of joy and gratitude, of drawing inwards. Draw those things from laying to seated, and you can bring them out into the rest of the day as well. And then in this place, this easy seat, with that idea within our mind's eye of harvesting, drawing in, gathering in, I invite you just in your own time to take up that little piece of food or that tea or any little thing, that little treat you brought with you. And we're just going to take a moment to draw in our own little abundant harvest. Somebody's got chocolate. I should have bought chocolate for this. I'm stuck with my sea grapes. So the sweetness, the nourishment. We'll just take a quiet minute to be with our little abundant feast. Bringing in the sweetness of Lammas and Lughnasadh and the harvest. And in that visualization, we use the senses of smell and touch, and now just that chance to bring our awareness to taste as well. A beautiful sweet harvest. And so, my darling ones, just when you have finished your treat or not, you don't have to finish eating chocolate if you want to continue, that's fine too. Just when you feel ready, what we'll do is we'll take a nice deep inhale. We're going to sweep the arms to the sky. We're going to bring the palms together and we're going to exhale the hands to heart center in prayer. From here, we can gently open the eyes, and to ourselves and each other, we say namaste, namaste, my darlings. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you so much for joining me today in our little celebration of Lammas and Lughnasadh, this little harvest festival.